want to learn how to write a best-selling book and use that to grow your brand and open up new doors. My name is Siddharth Rajshekhar, and I've actually written an international bestseller book you can see here titled You Can Coach, where I was able to compete with many of the other books and hit the #1 spot in the business and economics category, where I also got the interviews of Jack Canfield, Dr. John Demartini, Blair Singer, and many other industry leaders. In fact, Brian Tracy has said that I'm sure this book is going to help thousands of people turn their expertise into a profitable knowledge business. Jack Canfield has given his endorsement saying that for coaches and trainers who are looking to level up digitally, Siddharth has laid out the precise roadmap. And Dr. Demartini from the movie The Secret, he has also mentioned that the nuts and bolts of creating and building the coaching business of your dreams all in one book. Now, how I was able to hit this is because I engineered the entire thing 6 months before I launched my book. Okay, and in this particular video, I'm going to be actually walking you through the entire process. And if you're somebody who's aspiring to become a writer, you're going to be learning something really well in this. Okay, so first I'm going to talk about why must you write a book. I'll tell you what is the importance of writing a book. You're not going to make any money from the book, but there's another benefit of it which I'm going to be sharing. 2 is I'll share with you there are different kinds of books that you can write. Number 3 is how to strategize a bestseller book, not just any other book, but how do you make it a bestseller. Number 4 is how do you write your book within 30 days. In fact, I wrote my book in 21 days. Number 5 is how to publish your book, how to pre-launch your book. Number 7 is how to plan your book launch event, which is a very important thing that most people they miss out on. Number 8, how to make it a bestseller. Number 9 is how to increase your book sales after you have launched your book. And this again, a lot of authors, they just launch and they don't do anything after that. And number 10 is how do you grow your brand using the book. Now, if you're here, this video is going to be very, very important. So take notes and learn all the stages of the game. And trust me, the book is not the purpose of the book is not to make money. The purpose of the book is to build your brand and to open up doors of opportunities that you never thought is even possible. Okay, so take notes. Let's get in and let's see how you can become a best-selling author within the next 6 months. Thank you so much. Great to have you in this particular video. And as I mentioned, even in my dreams, I never thought I would be able to write a best-selling book. And I'm the first person in my family who's written a book and hit the international bestseller. And it's such a fulfilling feeling. Honestly, more than the bestseller tag, the whole process of me going through this whole writing journey and discovering and formulating new ideas for my market is something that is I cannot even put a price on it. It is priceless, valuable, and life-changing experience that I went through in the book writing process. Okay, so I hope you're taking notes, and I'm going to walk you through the entire journey of exactly how I hit the bestseller, and it is possible. Okay, there's a lot of effort that needs to go into this, but even if you've never written a book before, if this is like brand new, it's okay. If you follow these steps, you'll be able to achieve this, and you can use the book to open up new doors. Okay, so let's get into the mind map, and as you can see here, let's get to the first part, which is why should you write a book? Okay. Now, I've been launching courses after courses after courses for the last 3 years. Okay. I had more than 26 to 30 courses, but I had never launched a book. And only when I interviewed Jack Canfield, I interviewed him for one of my community calls, asking him about why is it important to become a coach and what are the attributes of a successful coach. And I asked him about the book. And there he said that, even though today people are reading their books on Kindle, they may not be consuming in the physical format like before, but still launching a book is a very, very powerful branding tool. Now I had the opportunity to interview the publishing phenomenon of this decade, Jack Canfield, about his book writing process and also about how, the book has helped him, the Chicken Soup for the Soul series, the Success Principles series. And I was able to draw a lot of ideas from there and before I launched my book. Okay. So the first thing is the reason why you need to write a book are for these 3 reasons. Number 1, it is to become an authority in your space. There are different kinds of books which I'll come to later. There's fiction, non-fiction books. I'm talking about non-fiction books, self-help books, and which is more core towards your subject matter expertise. Okay, so if you're a career coach, if you're a business coach, if you're a health coach, you're a wealth coach, you're a relationship coach, or you're a creativity coach, it's important that you write a book to establish your authority. Author equals to authority. Okay, so your authority in the marketplace. So that when you say that you're a best-selling author, international best-selling author of the book, when I say I'm an international best-selling author of the book You Can Coach, it opens up doors. Authors have a different perception in the mind of the audience, because very few people end up putting in their effort to hit a bestseller, or they put in the effort to even write a book. Okay, it's a lot of pain to actually write a book, which I'll come to. I'll give you the steps, and it is not so painful if you follow my process over here. Okay, so the first reason is you need to write a book to become an authority. You can use the book as a branding tool, like I mentioned earlier. So if you are known as an authority, then people will open up doors, and you can actually go and close deals and become like a high level consultant, because now you have this behind your back. You got the tag of an author. And number 3 is you can also create a legacy for yourself, because the book is going to stand the test of time. Okay, and many of the biggest authors say, like Napoleon Hill, and he has written Think and Grow Rich, and many years after he's gone, his message is reaching out to multiple thousands of people even after he's gone. So launching a book is the reason why you need to write a book is for these 3 reasons. Is you can become an authority, use it as a branding tool to grow your brand, and after many years, this is something that will leave a legacy for your children, your grandchildren, and your great grandchildren to come. Okay, so that's the important reason. Now there are different kinds of books that you can write. Okay, number 1 is you can write a very concept format book, anywhere between 100 to 200 pages book. And I know there are some of my friends in the marketing world, the purpose of their book is not to become a bestseller. The purpose of the book is to generate leads. So if they're generating leads, they may write a small little book, 100 pages, 200 pages, bigger fonts, that size, where the purpose of the book is what? It is just to share a concept and to attract leads, or get people to buy that book at a very nominal price point, because the printing cost will be very low, where they can ship that physical copy to their potential students and leads, so that they can buy their products and stuff later. Okay, so I did not take that approach. I'll tell you which approach that I took. So the first approach is you can write a book just to share a concept and to bundle it with your lead generation campaigns. The second thing is you can write a book in a story format, like Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's a story format, and the difference between his Rich Dad and Poor Dad and all the lessons that he learned, and embedded in that story were principles and stuff like that. Okay, so that could be anywhere from 200 to 300 words. You want to structure it into different kinds of chapters. The third form of book is like a textbook format book. A textbook format book is something like 300 to 400 pages, where there are not too many stories, but more like intellectual concepts and formulas, and all the chapters are based around those particular topics. Okay, and then the fourth format, from what I can see, is the ultimate authority format. Now, in the ultimate authority format, this could go to 400 to 700 pages, and I decided to take up this approach in my book writing process, because I did not want to just write a 100 200 page book, because I'm already writing 100 200 pages of content, like on my blog articles. I have ultimate guides on my website and many other places. Okay, and I also did not want to go into story format, though my book has stories. I did not just want to keep it to formulas, but I wanted to create something which is the ultimate authority format, which also includes the interviews of other industry leaders within my own topic. Okay, so my book has actually over 22 interviews. Let me just show it to you. You want to see this? It's a fat book. Okay, it's a very fat book, and even the font size is decent only. If you actually look at it, it's not too big font size, but this is running to over 624 pages book. Okay, and it's got endorsements of Brian Tracy, Jack Canfield, Dr. D. Martini, Blair Singer, and Suren Jayasekar, all on this book. And it's the title is You Can Coach, a book that will redefine the education system. This is what I call as the ultimate authority book. Okay, so the ultimate authority book, if I have to come back over here, let's understand how I went through the whole process. Okay, let's look at the strategy. This is like the most important part. See, I wanted to write this book not just to become a bestseller. My original intent of writing this book is I wanted to create a textbook for my own students, because I already had a large community, and I kept rolling out a lot of courses and had a big tribe. And even though I wanted to launch my book before, I staggered it, and I wanted to launch my book after I built the tribe, because then I knew, or in the back of my mind, I knew that if I launch a book with a large community, it can easily hit the bestseller. So my whole strategy of launching this book was in this process. Number 1 is I first built digital products. I did not just want to go and write a book for the sake of writing a book. Okay. 2 is I started to build a digital community of paid members, and I was also building my influence online. 3 is I started to formulate all the concepts into the book. And this is the most important part, because if you're just writing a book from your own head, yes, it may have some value, but I have done more than 500 one-to-ones with my students, And based on all the patterns and the questions that they're asking me, I started to maintain a scrapbook of all these different ideas, and I put those ideas into it, and then I started to formulate different concepts, and I needed to let the milk boil for some time before I can give out something really awesome to the marketplace. This book has more than 22 illustrations and concepts which are unique, okay? Which is coming from my head over here, okay? After interviewing over 500 people, I got the ideas and I formulated it. I put that into, infographics, and that's what I shared inside the book, okay? So it's important for you to formulate your concepts after spending time with your audience. Number 4 is then you start to build a buzz 3 months before the launch. For example, I started to write this book in the month of January 2021, okay? And June 2021 was my launch date, okay? June 21st. And for 3 to 4 months before I even launched the book, I started to talk about it in my community, and it started to build a buzz, okay? In fact, I had the book cover already designed, and I said, I'm going to be launching on this date. Watch out for this space. And I kept sending out mailers and messages to all my community members, even before the launch date, and giving them an update on how the book writing is going on and so on, okay? And the fifth step is to hit that bestseller on the launch day. In fact, I hit the international bestseller on the same week that I launched, and I hit the India Amazon #1 bestseller in the home business category on the day of the launch. In fact, when I was launching the book in that launch event, in that event itself, I shared my screen and showed everyone I've hit the bestseller. Now, there's nothing like it if you can engineer it to that way, but the way to do it is to follow these 5 steps, okay? And if you're mind blown by this, just type mind blown in the comment box. If you're watching this on Facebook or any other place, or YouTube or LinkedIn or Twitter, or wherever you're watching this, please type mind blown in the comment box, because that's how you got to engineer the launch. You got to plan it well in advance, and we'll go into the other details on how to launch it, okay? So the 4th step is the writing process. So how did I apply the writing models and writing process to make this into an international bestseller? Is number 1 is I started to build a scrapbook of concepts. I already told you this earlier on. I maintained a Google document file, and I kept throwing in all the different kind of concepts and ideas. And I had like more than maybe 30, 40 different ideas and that I needed to expand later on. And then what I did was, second thing is I started to construct the main chapter heading. So I decided, okay, I want to make the book into 3 parts. Okay. I want to have 3 sections in the book: how to plan, launch, and grow a digital coaching business to 6 figures a month. Okay. And then under plan, launch, and grow, I added 3 chapters under each. Okay. How to find your niche, how to design your curriculum, how to plan your budgets. Okay. Then under launch, how to launch your courses, how to launch your content, how to launch your campaigns. And the grow path, how do you build tribes, how do you build your profits, how to build your communities and take it to the next level. So there were 3 sections and 3 chapters under each. So totally 9 chapters in the book. And I made the headers of the chapters very clear. And all I had to do was I had to put in all those concepts from the scrapbook into these different chapters. Okay. So third step is I started to plan interviews of influencers. So initially I thought, let this book just be my own concepts. But then later on I understood that if I can bring on other people's interviews, it'll add more weightage to the book. So I created a simple Google form and a Google document, and I sent it out to a few of my known influencers saying that, hey, I'm writing this book. I would like to feature you in my book as a dedicated chapter. And I would like to also promote what you're promoting inside at the end of that chapter. And if you could just give me like a 1,000 word chapter about yourself and answer these 10 questions and give it back to me before this date, I'll feature you in the book. So since I already had a big community, my influencer was already built. I already had some influencer connections. For me to really get that chapter out of them was much more easier as compared to if I had tried this maybe 2 or 3 years back. Okay, that's why it's important for you to build the audience first before you come into approaching this strategy. So, and because of me being a speaker, I had a large community network, and I've been linked with some of these international speakers that I've done work with in the past. I was able to get interviews of Jack Canfield, Dr. John D. Martini. I've shared the stage with him on multiple occasions. Blair Singer, who is my mentor, and many of these international names. So in this whole planning process, I made a list of all the international figures in this domain, in the coaching and training industry, all the Indian superstars, like we have Suren Jayasekar, Rajiv Talreja, Pooja Puneet, and many others, and all the digital masters also that I've been connected with in the digital marketing game. And I wanted to bring in both the industries, the typical training and coaching industry, as well as the digital marketing industry and the digital influencers that are there. So I planned a list of 22 influencers, and you know what? I got all the interviews within 2 months because I planned this well in advance. Okay. Number 4 is then I got into a writing routine. So every day I used to write like 1,000 words, 2,000 words, and I just kept going and more. And one of the days, I decided, okay, let me go to Mysore and let me just take a break, go through an Ayurvedic treatment for 21 days. And while I'm there, sitting in the wilderness, beautiful place in Mysore on Chamundi Hills, I actually wrote the entire book sitting over there because there was no distractions. I would do my treatments, come back to the room and just start writing and typing my book, different chapters. So all that I had documented in the scrapbooks, I put that into different chapters, and I just did a brain dump of all the ideas without really editing, nothing. That will come later. Okay. Step 5 is I also started to record voice notes, and I transcribed them using a tool called rev.com. Okay. So I used to just record like a 10-minute, 20-minute voice notes of some concepts from those scrapbooks. I would upload it into rev.com, and that website would actually convert that voice into text, and it would give it back to me in a textual format. And then all I had to do is put it into the book. So that's how I was able to write the book really fast within 21 days itself. And step number 6 is then I got a team. I hired a team of freelancers to actually edit and proofread all my chapters as I was finishing those chapters. Okay. And you can find freelancers in many networks. You can go to upwork.com, freelancer.com, fiverr.com. You can find proofreaders and editors for any kind of textual content on these different networks. So my whole strategy process, my writing process was first building that concepts and then constructing the chapters and then making a list of influencers. Because the actual content that I wrote in this book is only half of the book. Okay. And the second half of the book, it has all the interviews of influencers, and which I did not write. I got it written by others. Okay. So they actually wrote it and they gave to me their interviews. And then of course I got my editors to polish it up and send it back to them for an approval before I put that finally into the book. Okay. So even though it's a 648 page book, I did not write all 648 pages. Okay. How many? 624 pages. Okay. I did not write so many pages myself. Only half of the book I've written. So now let's come to the next part, which is the aspect of publishing. And by the way, if you're finding this video useful, just type super useful in the comment box right now, wherever you're watching this, because I want to understand if you're with me and if you're learning with my pace as I'm sharing this video. Okay. Let's come to the next part, is the publishing part. So when it comes to publishing, there are two kinds of publishing. You can go with the traditional publishing where, you publish with a company like Hay House or something which is like very, very big in the market. And you have self-publishing, which is the other format of publishing. Now, since I have many author coaches inside my community, I ask their advice. I ask them, what should I go for? Traditional publishing or self-publishing? And traditional publishing, it really works well if you're already an existing brand. And the difference is in traditional publishing, the traditional publishers, they take a big chunk of your revenues of the book sales, but they give you a bigger distribution and network across your different channels. So I wanted to take a different approach, and my book author coach advisors, they told me, go for self-publishing, go with a few publishers who only will help you push the book and publish it into places, but they don't keep a major chunk of the royalties and stuff like that. So, and they will help you push on the primary platforms like Amazon and Flipkart and all the basic networks where everybody is on. So I got in touch with a really good publisher. In fact, in the description below on my YouTube channel, you can go and search for the same video on my YouTube channel. I've given a link to my publisher, and there are some defined packages for some of you who are interested in becoming an author and you want to publish a book. There's a link over there when you can go and check it out. Okay. So I decided to go with this particular publisher who did the entire end-to-end thing for me, right from, adding another layer of, proofreading the book and pushing it into all the different stores, like all the Amazon global networks in 100 plus countries and all the other places. Okay. In fact, recently, this publisher also helped me push my book into Barnes and Noble in the US, physical locations, as well as in Walmart as well. Okay. So over time, I started to build up more and more networks and putting my book in different kinds of libraries besides the main channels, which are Amazon. So to know more about this self-publishing company, the link is in my description on my YouTube channel. You can go and check it out later and find out their packages and how they can help you. Now, next, I want to get into the pre-launch stage. So the pre-launch stage is the most important stage of your entire book launch process in order to make it a bestseller, because you got to seed it into your community that there's something big coming up. So what did I do is, number one is I designed the book cover. Okay. I designed the book cover. And the second step is I set up a book website with a countdown timer. So what was happening is, while I was actually, writing the book, during that time, I had a countdown on the page saying that, okay, the book is going to be launched next 30 days or next 40 days, and the countdown timer is happening. And the anticipation was built for all my community members that the book was coming. And since the date was also finalized 3 months in advance, the pressure was on me to start writing the book, because now everybody knows, it's public, that the book is going to be launched. So in order for you to ensure that your book is written, it's good to set the deadline in place and make sure that the launch date is ready and finalized even before you start writing, because then the pressure is on you to ensure that you get it done by then. Okay, and make a public announcement. And number 3 is drum up your tribe. Start drumming up and start talking about it. Like every week I would just subtly say, okay, my book is coming up, my book is coming up, my book is coming up, while I was still writing it. And then the anticipation was built. Okay. And that's why in our launch event, we had more than 3,000 people. And in that same day, more than 800 people bought my book. Okay. And that's how I hit the international, the India bestseller on that same day. And in that same week, we hit the international bestseller. Okay. So let's come back to that. So the pre-launch phase these are the 3 steps. In fact, you can go and check out, youcancoach.com to have an idea of how I've set up the book launch page. Of course, now the countdown timer is not there, but I have a book trailer. Okay. In fact, there's a book cover design. I also got a book trailer done, like a video trailer where people will know more about the book. And then I started to drum it up. Okay. In fact, I'll put the book trailer over here. Okay. Number 7 is a launch event. So the launch event was, there are 8 important elements to this. And I launched my book on June 21st at a digital masters conference. Since I have a relationship with Success Gyan, India's leading events and conference organizer, and I'm one of the speakers. So we planned the launch date on that particular date along with other 9 digital masters, because all of their interviews were in this book, and I got to plan that entire launch sequence to happen on that same day. So during that event, what you can do is, if you're doing a launch event, you can keep it like a 2-hour Zoom event. While this event of ours was a full day event, if it's just a book launch, you can keep it like a 2-hour online event. Okay. Do it online because you'll have more people coming in. 2 is invite all the influencers, all the people that you have interviewed in your book. Make sure that you invite them and you say that and send them a beautiful invite, like an e-invite, design it and send it to them on WhatsApp or through email, telling them that you want to grace their presence, and they're going to be given an opportunity to speak for like 2-3 minutes, in that particular event. And when you have these big influencers and crowd pullers, when you send that message out to your group, a lot of people will be interested and they'll actually mark their calendars. Okay, so shout out on your networks that you're going to have all these big influencers coming in and speaking and about even your book launch. Then what you got to do is, in that launch event, after you introduce everyone who's there at the event, you invite everybody, you welcome everybody, then you can talk about the book. So I spoke about my book for around 30 minutes on how I started the book writing process and what all went into the book journey and what all struggles did I have to go through to actually get this book, how are people going to benefit from this book, and whose interviews are there in this book. And then when I talk about the interviews, then I started to invite all the other influencers to come and speak. Okay. And then when the influencers started to speak, they added their own value. They shared their concepts. They felt good adding value to the group because there was a large audience over there. And then what you can do is, after the influencers speak, then you give people an Amazon link. Okay. So I actually gave everyone an Amazon link to buy. Don't send them to any other place because you want to first get your ranking on Amazon.in or Amazon.com, whichever country that you are in. So I know in some cases people like to sell their book directly from their funnel pages or from their funnel websites. Do not do that in the launch event. Get people to buy on Amazon. And once they buy on Amazon, what I did was I also gave away merchandise for all the people who bought my book. So the title of my book is called You Can Coach. And I told people that if you buy my book today at this particular event, I'm going to ship you a t-shirt on which it's written, I Can Coach. Okay. So it was an amazing way to incentivize the buying. And I set up a budget for this. And which is why, more than 800 people plus, bought my book on that same day. And then what you could do, I did not do this, but what you could do is, since it's going to be a Zoom event, you can even publish the recording of this launch event on YouTube, and you can promote that in the future to get more and more people to come and buy the book from there. And even when somebody searches on YouTube for your book, and if it's well tagged, and if you have actually published this as a YouTube video of the launch event of your book or on the channel, that's going to also get a lot of people to come in and watch that video even in the future and then buy that book. Okay. So was that a super cool strategy? Just type super cool in the comment box. Type super cool. And if there's any other ideas that you have, please type in the comment box. Any other ideas? Because there are many people who are going to be watching this video even later on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, other places. it'll be good for you to share your comments below so that you get visible in front of the other people who are going to come and read your comments later. So share your comments below, while you're watching this video yourself. Okay, the 8th step of the process is how do you make it into a bestseller? In fact, if you do all the steps before this, it becomes into a bestseller. So it's very simple. Number 1 is choose the right subcategory on Amazon. And if I have to just show you right now on my PPT here, let's go into this particular page over here. So I was in the Amazon hot new releases category. I hit the number 1. And if you see under business and economics category, but overall I've been ranking under the category which is home business. Okay, under home business category, I was able to actually achieve that. So if you're choosing any top category on Amazon, it'll be very difficult for you to rank and hit the bestseller because there's a lot of competing books over there. But the more you go into a subcategory or a sub level category and put that over there, and once you get that bestseller tag on Amazon, like what you can see on my screen over here, once you get that bestseller, then that's it. You can use that for any kind of promotions in the future because you've got the badge from Amazon. Okay, so take screenshots of the bestseller position and then use that, to really promote the book and get more sales in the future. And also you can drive your Kindle sales by reducing the price of your ebook to under 99 cents and stuff like that. Okay, and there's a whole strategy behind this which is there, but I won't have time to cover that over here. Okay, so the 9th step is how do you increase your sales after the book launch day? I'm going to give you 3 ideas right now. Now, first idea is record videos and podcasts sharing concepts from your book, and keep showing the book to everyone. Even right now, if you see, I keep showing my book every few minutes so that you're going to be buying this book if you have not bought this yet. Okay, so you know what? After I launched the book on June 21st, every week I used to launch a video on my YouTube channel or some other place. And if you see, I would always have the book at the back over here in all my videos. So that way the brand recall is there, the recall is there. People who have not bought it, they'll be more interested to go and actually buy it. And when they see you actually holding the book and so on. So when you're explaining concepts in your future videos and podcasts, okay, if you're doing a video, you can always showcase the book. If you're doing a podcast, you can say that, in my book, I actually cover this. If you've not got a copy of the book, go to Amazon and pick it up. You can also do subtle sales of your book embedded inside your podcast itself and your videos. So that's how you increase your sales. 2 is ask influencers to shout out on their profiles. In fact, I created an influencer marketing kit. So every single person that I've interviewed in this book, I actually got them to share an image on their Instagram handle and on their social media profile saying that I was featured in this book. Okay, so that way I got a lot of leverage and a lot of sales even from their side. And number 3 is I also started to run paid marketing campaigns on Facebook. I kept a budget and I started to drive more people into my book page, which is youcancoach.com, for more people to keep buying my books. Okay, so within a span of 2 or 3 months, crossed 2,500 plus sales in my book, and that instantly gave me the visibility and the authority. Okay, but the key here is don't get happy with this, because once you have launched a book, you need to continue on that momentum for at least 6 months to 1 year after the launch of the book for you to really, position yourself as an authority in the marketplace. Okay, which leads me to the 10th point, which is how do you grow your brand after you have launched your book and after you've got your initial number of sales and after you've got that bestseller tag. See, now that you've got the bestseller tag, that can help you open up new doors and avenues. So this is what I started to do, and I'm continuing to do this even right now. Number 1 is I'm getting featured on other influencer podcasts. Okay, so there are many networks over there, many podcasters over there who are willing to actually bring you onto their shows where they will interview you, especially if you're an international bestseller. Like now, since I'm an international bestseller, and then I have the big names like Jack Canfield and Brian Tracy and all these big endorsements on this book, right? I mean, if I send one mail out to some influential podcaster, they would openly say yes for them to interview me. Okay, so I've got myself on at least 10 to 15 podcasts till now, and many of them are big influencers and where I've subtly spoken about the book and the concepts of the book, and that's actually given me more leverage on the book. The second thing you can do is you can get featured on mainstream media. Let me just show you this. So if you can see my screen on siddharthrajshekhar.com, there's a page called In the News page. And if you see, I've got featured on Business World, on Telegraph India, on Business Standard, on Forbes, Fortune India, Economic Times, Outlook India, Midday, India Education Diary, Your Story, Money Control. And I got all of these features happening on these mainstream media channels because the book has hit the international bestseller. Okay, so this is what I'm saying, that what you got to do is after the book launch, like if you want to really put yourself as the leading authority in your domain and your space, this is the way to approach it. And since I'm gunning for the topic of digital coaching, like if you go on Google and search for digital coach, you'll see my ultimate guide digital coach is the first rank on Google. Okay. And all of this is adding up because of all the reviews that are happening on Amazon, all the book launch sales that are happening, and all the buzz around my name in all these mainstream media channels. All of that is a part of the whole branding process. Okay. Number 3 is then use the book to open new doors as a best-selling author. Maybe you want to do some high-level consulting for people. Now that you're an author, you can probably charge more than what you normally used to charge or what other people charge. Okay. So this book, like I mentioned earlier on, the book that you write you're not going to be making that much of money on the book per se. Okay. But what it's going to help you with is opening your brand. So I've shared with you why you need to launch a book, what are the different types of books, what is the different strategies, the writing process, publishing process, pre-launch process, launch event, bestseller, increase sales, and how to grow your brand. And I have some few resources to give all of you here. Okay. As my gift to you. First resource I want to give you is, there's a website called readsy.com. Just go and register yourself over there. It's a free website. You can actually write your entire book over there and make all your chapters, and it'll do the total word count, and you can export that as an EPUB and stuff right from readsy.com. You can also find freelancers who can help you with editing and proofing and all of that stuff from this platform. It's a very cool platform. Go check it out. Second is you can go to cleverfoxpublishing.com/SIDS if you want to know more about the different packages that my publisher has. So I've openly collaborated with them for other people who are interested in using their services. If you want to use their services for publishing, and since they worked with me, you can expect them to do a great job for you as well. And number 3 is, if you'd like to be a part of my paid member community, go to sids.co/join and join my community. Because what I've shared with you here, the book launch is just one part of the branding strategy. But how do you really create those courses? How do you really build your community and tribe and build it up to such a level that you can become an international bestseller when you launch your book? If you want to learn that entire process, which will take you some time, join my community. I'll give you the link once more over here. If you go to sids.co/join, this is the link. Jump in on board. I have like a special offer that's running right now, 50% off on my silver membership. Get it on board, and I look forward to serving you and supporting you more inside that tribe. Okay. So if you found this useful, especially if you're already a part of my community, share your comments below using the hashtag #ILETSDeepLearner. If you want to win a free copy of my book, a signed copy of my book, if you're already in my community, by sharing your deep insights over there. Okay. So with that being said, I've shared with you the entire model on how to launch a best-selling book within the next 90 days. Okay. Spend the first maybe 15 to 20 days planning the book. You can spend 30 days writing the book. And then from that moment on, give yourself another 3 months for you to actually build towards a launch event and make it a bestseller. Wish you all the best, and I hope this has added value. Subscribe to my channel and share this video with other members who you think can benefit from this. Cheers. God bless. Bye-bye.